Y'all get up in here. Today we taking our time. Greetings, all my dreamers and dreamettes. It's your boy Mickey Fenty, aka Mickey Made It. If you're new to this channel, you know what to do to this channel. Subscribe right now. Also like and share this live this morning. Good vibes, healing energy to all the victims out there. We got a lot to talk about this Friday. And it's going down. Thank God it's Friday. So it's a TGIF. Y'all know how it goes. So we're gonna make sure everybody get up in here and we just gonna kick it today, man. We got a lot to talk about. Try to take my time with this thing today. Before we even set this off, this live today is brought to you by Inspired by Dreamzzz Clothing. If you want to support the brand, it's Inspired by Dreamzzz with 3Z's.shop. So it's Inspired by Dreamzzz.shop. And you know, we got the latest in hoodies. We got so many different things. We got from beanies, snapbacks. We got a little bit of everything. You guys can check this out. We got hoodies, t-shirts. Our latest tees are so dope. So it's preppy streetwear. You guys got to really check out the brand. It's black owned. Put my hard work into it, and that's what we've been up to. That's what we're just working hard, trying to get the brand out there, getting good people, getting it on the backs of good people out there, people that believe in just reviving themselves and just want to give their life a little step up. This is the brand for you. So if you guys want to check me out and check out my fashion, check out my brand. It's Inspired by Dreamzzz.shop, and for your first purchases, we're giving you 10% off. Just gotta sign up in there, and it's yours. Okay. So now today it's Friday, man. I hope the vibes are good out there. Hope everybody's energy is up. I wanted to talk to you guys about a few things, but let's just start it off with I'm not sure if this is what I'm hearing. This is what I've seen. Is it true that Donald Trump pardoned Sheff G, or did he come out and did he support Sheff G, or I don't know how's that going, but I did see that, and beyond just what that whole situation came out to be, what I took out of that is we have to have support for our people, because it's so easy for, I won't say outsiders, but it's so easy for somebody looking in and just saying, you know what, I see the problem with this whole situation. The lack of support is here. Oh, let me jump into that, and now that becomes, because supporting somebody goes a longer way than just saying, what you're gonna do or what you see should be done in the future. When you actually put hands down and support, and it shows a different light on different people. Because when you can actually see the support in front of you or on individuals, Donald Trump do that, and he grabs the whole young community that supports Sheff G. So in these times, you got to be very careful. I'm not saying who to vote or who not to vote for. That's on you guys. I feel like everybody has the freedom of, voting for whoever they want to vote for. So, but I was just looking at the aspect of the whole, just like, how when I see, hip hop is getting in, sometimes it gets into this space where, it's a leadership role out there and somebody's being represented in politics that's coming from the hip hop community. And I always tune in to see, what's really going on. And I just seen it. I'm like, wow, wow. But on another note, we're hearing more and more about the Diddy situation. Another female has came forward and saying, how Diddy, and I told you guys, this is not, it seems like in these situations you usually see patterns, and the pattern in what I'm seeing is people who has been victims, the victims are showing a pattern of, just that resilience and wanting to, step up, and because it's probably been hurting them all this whole time, and this feels like a time where they feel like their word will be more heard than before. So I know we have a lot more to see to this whole crazy puzzle. But I'm just thinking to myself, like, throughout all of this, his family, the people behind the scenes on his side of things, even I believe it's Justin's mom she didn't say it, but she said she was standing for Cassie, and that also implies that it's possibilities that allegedly that she could have been through those same situations with Diddy. And when you think of this whole, I have to say it's not everybody in hip hop, because there's a lot of stand up dudes in hip hop, but there's a lot of people misguided because of power and money. And there's no age to that. You could be misled from money and power from, at an adult age. Um, and it's sad because is there really justice? Is getting paid out for this, or is there going to be justice served in this situation? What do you guys consider justice in these situations would be? Because I'm also hearing that they're gonna take it criminal, and I'm also hearing on the other hand that it can't be taken any further because of the statute of limitations. So when we say justice, what do you see coming out of this whole thing? Because I feel like if there's no justice served in these types of situations where the females are not being stood up for from the authorities because of certain situations or people in power, I feel like justice is going to be served while it's going to send people to taking justice in their own hands. And that still brings down the community because that's a war within itself. Now you have hurt families that's going out there and trying to, justify or trying to, because it hurts. Just recently, I've seen this clip with this guy. His daughter was killed in a drive-by shooting, and he felt there was no justice served because the guy that killed his daughter in the drive-by shooting, he only got 15 years. So you see the father in court, and he's just going wild because he said, he's gonna wait for him. He has 12 more years to go, and he's gonna wait for him. And that right there, when I'm watching it, I'm just like, wow, that fire inside, that 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 fire inside of you never stops. It never dims. It never goes down because that pain is still there for his daughter. His daughter, he can never get his daughter back. While that guy only got 15 years in prison, and he's a younger guy, so 15 years from now, even though we know, the prison life is bad, he'll still have a chance to live his life, whereas that father would never get a chance again to be with his daughter or even have a chance to even love her or hug her again in the physical. In the spiritual, yes, but we gotta get away from these issues. We gotta try to handle these issues now because let me tell you something. If there's the wrong people in office, the wrong leaders, it leaves the whole community and everything to go astray. Because once that trust is broken, everybody's gonna believe in what they believe in, and there's gonna be no other way to solve problems but to go to war with whoever harmed you or the person. It's gonna be it's just like a civil war, and we don't need that. We don't need that. Now we see that more with the Diddy situation. It triggered a lot of other females, a lot of other people who have been, in these types of situations to speak up. And now I've seen Joe Buttons and Tahiri. I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name right. And she felt like she was triggered, and she took to social media just seeing the whole Cassie incident. And I never really got a whole gist on that whole Joe Buttons and Tahiri, but I did hear things in the past where they was a couple and it was a toxic relationship. I read something now that it said something like how he sat on her stomach while she was pregnant. If that is if these things are true, I guess the reason why in these times, well, just seeing that as a female, seeing what's going on, yes, I can understand it could be triggering. And what I wanted to know is, was her situation took to court, or because there's gonna be a flood of people that gets triggered, but when you're triggered, there's also, everybody has separate situations. So if you're triggered by something that you see and you take to social media, it's not always it's not always the best thing in different situations if you're gonna continue. But if you're seeking justice out of what happened, well, social media will be the place for you to come and seek the justice because you have a wider audience and more people that can give you a better light or a better lens on your situation. But if you're not seeking justice and you're just going for just letting the people know all the time, it becomes there's no healing and you could tell that there's no healing still in that situation. They both haven't had healing because I'm hearing Joe Budden's responded and he's going back at her. So you're gonna see a lot of people that's been through this whole domestic violence triggered by these situations, and you can't blame them. That's why, like I told you, no matter how, if a person's triggered and they've been through it, if you're the person that did that to anybody out there, if you're a man that did that to anybody out there, you have to just take it or you know, it's we're in a we're running on like it's like a thin line because people have brands out there, and then I understand that because I have a brand. So if somebody slandered me, that's why I don't go out slandering people. I can only speak on information that's presented or information that's in the public or out there. I can't put out information of what I guess and how I feel about this and that because that will be defamation. I'm smart enough to know that if I touch information online, I have to make sure the reason why I'm talking about it is because it's out there, it's being put out. And I do understand that people have brands as well. So on both sides, it's a messy situation. On both sides, it's a messy situation. That's why I said, you know, after these situations do go down, you have to find some kind of healing or some kind of resolution, trying to some resolvement in these situations because if not, the pain, bills, and we never know where it can end up in these times of mental health. Another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, I'll go back and forth. You know, sometimes I go back and forth. It's just how I think and what's on my mind at the time. But I'm hoping you guys are having good energy out there and you guys are enjoying yourself out there. Make sure you guys like this live this morning. I really appreciate you guys for tuning in. We seeing Sean Kingston and his mother, their house got raided. And a quick story about Sean Kingston. Sean Kingston supported the brand, my last brand, and so did his mom. I shipped them out some aprons, and I designed some aprons for them, and I did some shirts for Sean. And they were very at that time. They were very, you know, I can't say I've they had bad business with me or did bad business with me. You know, I was just building the brand at the time. That was my last brand, and you know they supported. So shout outs to them for that. What I did see, and I seen that this whole situation was over $150,000 TV. I guess like a whole TV setup. You know, like you setting up your old spot. You want to get the TV. TV is bigger than this damn room, but and I see that, you know, everybody came in. You know what it is? When I looked at that whole situation, I thought about it. I said, you know, I had to break it down for myself and realize the people that you're dealing business with might have more power or might be in cahoots with people that you might not know or the people you don't, you know, you never thought they would. And the more, you know, everybody can extend their hand and everybody has their little bits of power or ways they go about things in these types of situations. I looked at that whole situation and I said, wow, that was a, you know, for just, I'm not just saying, I shouldn't just say $150,000 because that's a lot of money regardless. It's a lot of money. For $150,000, it definitely goes over. It can get federal, and this can trump into charges that could lead somebody in, you know, in prison for a long time. You guys don't know how serious that can be. But when I look at it, I said, for Sean Kingston, just a wise note. It's his backstory that can make this story seem true. All the, you know, like I've been out because I'm looking into it and I'm seeing Sean Kingston come up for scams on jewelries and things like that. These types of things, I would just saying from man to man, I would say, you know, Sean Kingston is way more talented than the jewelry and all that stuff he presents. He has a a great voice, and I feel like with just when in these times you only really need one or two chains, and as a celebrity, maybe three, four chains, and not so much. Don't rent chains from these people because the jewelers and I don't want to disrespect anybody's business, but some of these jewelers, it's all a setup. When you have to rent something, lease something, and they know you can't pay for it, and it's you don't even know the quality of the jewelry that they're renting out to you, and maybe you might not pay, and you come to this, you're trying to take it. That becomes a big lawsuit, and you end up losing more than the jewelry actually costs. So you want to stay out of those situations. I mean, just having in debt and all these things for material things, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that because your talent alone, when people see you, they know it's Sean Kingston, regardless if you have jewelry on or not. They can identify with you, sing a lot of your songs. So I hope that Mama Kingston and everybody, because Mama Kingston even has a food truck. I mean, this lady does, a lot for Miami, a lot for Florida, excuse me, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to just speak on the situation and not have the full on it, but they're saying some kind of scam and fraud, and those are type of things you don't want to have your name, your family name under because it rips apart legacies. And you guys been doing so good at West Indian family. I'm just hoping that everything goes correct with you guys, and I'm hoping that this doesn't extend way past the that whole TV thing, or they have other information on you guys. Hoping everything go good with that Sean Kingston, but I felt like it looked a little overboard. I'm not sure. I don't want to just exaggerate and say it looked like they did too much because I don't exactly know the whole situation. They could have been, investigating Sean Kingston and his family for a while. Um, I don't know where and how that could end up. But from what I'm hearing, Sean Kingston did do a response, and it seems like they have it under control. But who knows in these times? Who really knows in these times where things can go? I'm feeling like in these times we're gonna see a lot of more domestic violence because the more we see these things on screen is the more people that been through it actually been through these situations, it triggers them. And I don't think you can stop somebody from being triggered. I don't think you can stop somebody from wanting to let out that energy because it's been holding inside of them. So you can't, there's no really time limit on it, but I do feel like if you're gonna, don't lash out on social media because sometimes it only hurts you in the end. Make sure you got to know how to protect your energy, and even though you might you have to look at a bad situation and know how to take the good from it to understand how to balance your energy. That's what you really got to do, especially for the females that's been through domestic violence. When you see these things happen in the celebrities and you see them getting highlighted, and maybe yours case has not been highlighted just because of the media and the popularity. Um, Try to take your little bits and pieces of things that you can relate to and make good of it. See that how somebody took their situation and they went and they fixed their situation, and you try to fix your situation, something similar, or try to get your mind off of just the fighting and back and forth stuff. Because if you have that bubble inside of you and holding inside of you, of all your domestic violence past, it blocks your lens from you falling in love or finding love in the future. You don't want to hold those type of things on you, man. Stress and all this type of stuff, it weighs on you. I know it weighs on me. I can't when if I'm stressed out, I can't be myself and go to my full potential. I just can't. My mind's just it just race. Your mind's racing. You're thinking about everything 100 miles an hour in your mind, and it's just racing, and you can't see the good in things. You can only see how you can protect yourself, and it's only right because when you're stressed or when you've been abused, you only find your way to protect yourself. You have to because you feel like somebody violated you, and you don't ever want that to happen again. Like the female with Diddy, she's saying that she couldn't move anywhere when she was drugged, and just all of this, like just putting stuff in people's drinks and taking advantage of them. That is one of the biggest. Like that is that's a type of crime where you in prison you're gonna have a hard time. You're gonna have a hard time. Now I feel like if he does get away, as far as get away on this earth wise, I'm talking about, not in heaven or hell or wherever that has that stuff, but on this earth, as far as jury, on the judge, it sets a bad example for our queens out there. It shows that they have no backing. So this is a big issue. This is going to be one of the biggest cases of hip hop, and it's nothing light. It's nothing to play with. It's something that it's, even though they take away everything else, taking away the money doesn't resolve this case. What's resolving this is the end of it. How is this going to end? How is the little girls growing up? How are they going to be? How are they going to trust from this time going on? How are they? You know, because we're gonna hear more about people that's been violated, because not every person's, because it could be a male too. We can hear there's a lot of male victims that just not coming out and saying, you know what, I've been a part of domestic violence. You know, I've been beat on in the house, because they feel like, oh, I'm supposed to be the man, and people is gonna make memes about it and say I'm less of a man, this and that. No, it's it makes you more of a man when you don't put your hands on her, and she's trying to violate you, but really, she can only touch the flesh, the spirit, and everything else. You got to get you, not only that, you have to get out of that situation. Like I always tell you, people are acting like they in love and this and that. You don't need yourself in these type of predicaments, these type of places where that artificial love surrounds you. You'll never know who to trust. I'm talking about backstabbers, people that's talking about you behind your back and in your face, painting painting a bad light on you. This is what people do. You got to stay away from that. People love to paint a bad light on person. The same people that's abusing people, much love, thank you, thank you, thank you. The same people that's out there abusing people be the same people acting like they marching for their queens. I just can't understand that. You can't, you know how many females had to walk around with the big glasses and hide this for years and years and years to come, and now that social media comes out now and shows these type of situations, yeah, they're going to be triggered. You have to understand that. This is not somebody just, you don't, I don't think people are just trolling, or people are just like talking their situations. For, you know, some people's story has domestic violence attached to it, no matter what people will tell you. And I want people to know that your story is more powerful than your abuser. So you, if just because they abused you and did whatever they felt and had their way with you, don't mean that they took everything out of you. You still got your soul, you still got your heart, you still got God above you, you still got people that love you, and you still have your story. Nobody can tell you to stop saying your story. You tell your story, and you tell your story the way you want to tell your story. Don't let anybody else put their, oh, don't tell it like this or don't tell it like that. No, you tell it the way you feel, the way it happened to you. You tell it, and you'll find more people that will love on you, and more people that see you for who you are. And let me tell you, man, I feel like it's gonna sound crazy, but I feel like people that's been abused, once they break out of that, they're some of the best lovers. They're some of the best lovers, because they understand what pain feels like at its worst, and they understand where they want to take love. So don't ever give up on somebody just because they've been abused or something like that. You can come in there and you can help somebody and love on them, and y'all have a longer relationship, the type of relationship that lasts for a lifetime. So never count anybody out. Never count anybody out. So I can't really, say, and I'm hearing another thing with, I've seen somebody talk on the DJ Academics thing. I didn't know how, to be honest with you guys, there's so much things going on. I didn't know how serious it was. I didn't know that there was a R kit taken, and his stuff was found on it. So you look, stay around the people that you can trust. I don't care how many clubs, how many parties you see online. If you feel like, dang, they're having a good time, never look at that like I want to be a part of that. Look at that like I want that type of environment around me. So let me find my good time people for me. And your good time people might be just you, lighting a candle, sipping some wine, and watching a dope show on Netflix. That's fine. God is going to make you comfortable with who you are before you can present yourself to the person that can love you for you. So keep that in mind. Don't let people. There's no time limit on love. A lot of people don't even know what it is. We still getting to the point where we're trying to figure things out, and it's happening in a fast rate. A lot of people never get a chance to love, and then there's a lot of people that they got a chance to love and they didn't like it. Anything's possible, but if that's what you want, I feel like that's one of the things that God always blesses anybody. It's one of the things top of the list, and it's all if when it's in your heart to do, it always comes to you. What do you think? I think so. Me, I'm the type of person, I'm holding back on that. I'm a little guarded for myself. I'm a little guarded. I'm a little guarded. And the reason why I'm a little guarded is because not just my anxiety, but I have a little fear in that whole love might not go right type of situation. So it's not just females, it's males as well. We find comfort in being single because we love on ourselves, and that goes off to the around us. That becomes our aura. So I see things more clear for what it is. So I can always say, this relationship, it doesn't look like it's gonna work out because they're not really connected. They're just here because they look like they gel, but they don't feel it within each other. You can just see it. We got a lot of people out there. They have different types of addictions, y'all. There's so many different types of addictions, not just the ones that we hear and see about. There's people addicted to so many different things that they don't even know about. And just because people don't speak about it on the daily, it doesn't mean that it's not going on. Think about it. I see. Let's go to crime. I've seen day by day by day more kids passing away through gun violence. I see parents cry every single day on the news. Parents are crying for their loved ones, and then the next day is somebody new. You mean to tell me the people that was watching that parents the other day didn't see those tears and didn't take it in? You know why? Because they hurt. So they could only relate when, they could only relate in the destruction when it's all almost over. They can't relate to the point where people wanted to stop and say, wait, put the brakes on this. Hold up, hold up. That was a little girl out there. Hold on now. I'm talking about this man cried for his daughter drive-by shooting, and they only gave the guy 15 years. Let me see can I pull this up? Maybe I could pull it up and you could just hear his let me see. I don't even know if I could pull. Let me see. Hold up. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up, y'all. I might be able to. Hold on. Man, this thing gave me the chills, man. I was just like, wow. I felt him. I felt him. I felt him. I felt him, man. It's hard not to not have some kind of understanding, Hold on. Okay, so let me see. I think my Twitter is, what is it? Mickey made my Twitter is Mickey made it, y'all, or is it inspired by dreams? Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Mickey. Look at me, y'all. I don't my damn. Let's try Mickey made it. No, I think it's inspired. But look, it was his father. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna put it on my post after this live is over. But man, that thing gave me the chills. It hurt, man. It hurt bad, man. When people get hurt, people think like after the post is over or the next day when something else comes up that goes away. No, it doesn't go away like that. It stays in with you forever. And those victims become put in a bunch of a long list of victims that's just piling up daily, day by day. Things can be that way. It can't be that way. It can't be that way. We can do better than that. We can do better than that. I know we could. We can do better than that. Because with the AI, the AI is so advanced that it's capturing crimes right after it happens, and all they have to do is go back to the footage and go find these people. So the AI is ahead of the crimes now. And for what? Clothes, hurting people. It's violent. It's something we have to do within ourselves to change this. I don't think a politician. I don't think. I think us as humans have to fix this. Because if we don't, the ones growing up looking at this is the only way they're gonna see themselves, handling situations like when it comes down to this, taking justice in their own hands. I'm telling you, this whole Diddy situation, just people, the onlookers, people looking in, people want to see justice. So if justice is not being served because you're rich or you have $1 billion, it just goes to show how many other things was hidden behind people of status and the victims they've wronged and did this to. Some of these females don't have a voice. No, they don't have a voice. Their voice has been silenced through people that have more popularity, more views, more numbers, and they get caught up in the mix. But does it say that nobody listens? It doesn't say that, because I do. Most of the people that I've been watching and I've been learning and I've been just amazed by have lower views than the people with the millions of views, because there'd be a millions of views covering nonsense. And the things that's really meaningful for our community, our relationships, the way we deal with people, that's the things that we have to find ourselves, because of the algorithm might not push them. But I take it upon myself to find them. So when I see a channel like mine or anybody with good vibes, I'm always subscribing to them. I'm still looking to and I'm still learning myself. So I don't want to every day just see the nonsense. I wanna make some love in there too, because that the nonsense is not the only thing that's going on. Yeah, it's taking the forefront of media, because there's a lot of money behind people making mistakes, and it's sad, and it's a shame that as an artist in hip hop now, you make more money if you passed away. The artist actually becomes a millionaire when he or she passes away, but the money doesn't even go to their family. The money that people pour their souls listening to the artist becomes part of the behind the scenes world, that the people that we don't ever see, but they have hands on your business. It doesn't make sense at all. It doesn't. Another song you guys gotta check out on that Rhapsody album is her and Lil Wayne. Man, that collab was crazy. After this is over, I have to design some t-shirts for the summertime, and I'm gonna be rocking out to the album. So you know the vibe of those t-shirts is gonna be crazy. It's gonna have a little splash of love in it. It's gonna have a little splash of unity. It's gonna have a little splash of everything. But I'm gonna make them dope for you guys. And I'm gonna try to make them at the best prices possible, so you guys can pick up not just one, but buy them in like a bunch. Make them like a little series of t-shirts you guys can wear. And because nowadays people are making, and it's not us. I'm gonna tell you, as far as me as a fashion designer, I feel a little bad. I feel a little irritated when people get rid of their clothes quick. Because as a brand owner, you want a person to put it in their closet and mix match it with different things they have going. Me myself, I don't like just throw away clothes or just do the one wear type of thing. I like to mix and match my stuff. You might see me with this hat mixed around with different things, or this hoodie, or my sweats mixed with different things. I don't really get rid of my stuff. Some stuff, yeah, but most of like my heavy stuff and the stuff that really means dear to me, I keep it and I mix and match it around. So I really like people to do that with the brand. And yeah, that's just me putting out that type of energy, because the energy I want to give you guys is when you wear the clothes, you feel a little edgy in it, and you don't give off the aura of, you give off that aura like, I'm somebody. I'm somebody. Like, I have the live a little hoodies, and it has a little tongue right here by the, like, the bow tie section, and it's kind of like, yeah, I'm a good person, but I'm living a little today, and that's what I wanted that whole vibe and energy to be. So that's why I designed that one. You guys can go check that out. It's a collectible piece. So that's the reason why I can sell winter clothes in the summer and summer clothes in the winter, vice versa, because I try to make every piece a collectible, something you can keep in your closet. Back to this whole crazy entertainment world, it seems like we're gonna see a lot more people running that have done people wrong, because these are the times where people, they're just telling their story. I feel everybody has a right to tell their story. We all have our story, and some people don't have to tell their story through YouTube or social media platforms. Some people, like myself, I like to tell my story through my work and what I do, and that's the best way of doing it. I see a lot of people that they're doing ebooks, and those are really dope too. I love books. I'm not really into the ebook as much as I'm into reading the book, but ebooks are dope too. I feel like one day maybe I can put something together and make an ebook. Maybe I'll do it in front of you guys so you guys can help me out. Maybe put a few pages together with me and things like that. But I just feel like we just gotta come together, and for the people that's out there violating and becoming and just champion this whole demon energy, just cut it out, man. I mean, people have more to live for, and we're seeing kids getting killed, people getting abused. The world would be a better place if we had more better people, better thoughts out there than the people that we're seeing in front of us on the social media. Social media highlights people that would do anything to get anywhere. So that's why you're always going to see them first. They're going to jump in front of you. Yeah, you might not throw that Bible in the garbage just to get out the way. They'll do anything. You have morals about yourself, dignity, things that you've been raised upon from your family and your culture. Some of these people don't have that. So when they go out there, it's like anything. I'll do anything to get anywhere right now, because I feel like I don't they don't know their worth. So they just want somebody to say, you, this is you, this is you, this is you. But at the end of the day, when you look in that mirror, you're gonna also need that person behind you to say, no, that's you too. Because when you look, it's going to be a blank mirror. You don't even understand what you're looking at. Don't be fooled by people just because they throw a whole bunch of money in your face. When I see that type of stuff in these times, I always look at it like, wait, hold on. Why are you doing that? Why are you talking down on the people that you came from that same neighborhood, but still you talk down on the same people that most likely got you to where you're at. And the only reason why I think you guys even show up to represent these people is because you want to show off to disrespect these people. That ain't right. Change your mindset on how you present yourself. You want to come back to the neighborhood, come back with some good energy. Don't come back with, I'm better than you. That doesn't work anymore. You're actually not better. Nobody's better than anybody. Everybody has their points in life where they feel like, you know what, I can do better than what I'm doing now. But nobody wants to be told, oh, you're not this, you're not that, you're not this. Maybe you don't know what that person has been through. And they might have held back on their dreams to get their niece, their nephew, their daughter, their son where they got to go. You don't know people's lives, so don't just categorize everybody in the same boat. And that's what I mean with the black culture. It's not everybody in the culture that thinks the same way and with the nonsense. It's people that represent the culture in different ways for different times and different situations. And that's what we don't have, like, it's becoming this whole, like, melting pot of everybody just splurting different things, different issues. And you can't really hear any of the issues because everybody's fighting. It sucks. Love you guys. Let me see. Oh, y'all got the hearts, y'all got the roses up for me. I love y'all, man. Y'all always show me some love, man. I really appreciate y'all, for real, for real. Because a lot of people, they just spreading bad energy. I say, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'm going to get up here and I'm going to give some good energy and my take on things, because there's people out there, they want to say something, but they just don't have a voice to do it, or might not know how to do it, or might not feel like the people they're around are representing them or pushing them to be that type of person. Maybe the people around you are holding you back from opening up your mouth and saying something. Some people are caught up with this domestic violence right as we speak. Like they're watching Cassie go through it, and they're like, when I look around, he's in the back. You know, you get out of it. Get out of it, because it could lead you into and don't think that you can heal somebody if they don't want to heal themselves. That's one of the biggest misconceptions when it comes to mental health. If that person doesn't have a step forth, or even like a wanting to like get better or change themselves, they never change. Just because you want somebody to change doesn't mean that they're going to change for themselves. You have to see them trying to change within themselves, and then you can throw your little extra hand to help them if you love them. But if they ain't trying to put forth no effort of change or nothing like that, most likely they're going to be the same person for the rest of their life, man. Get away from it, man. It's only gonna pull you down. I don't care what you got to do to get out of these situations. Get away from it. These are men that they just. Some of these people they're like. It's not even keeping it real anymore. It's like people are just straight artificial. People don't. That's why, when I came on here, that's the first thing I jumped on, and people was like, it was on my head for it, like, oh, and I was like, oh, money ain't everything. And at that time, it was like, people it was just stuck all on money. Like, no allegations and nothing came out in hip hop just yet. But people was just, I just seen it every day. Like, people was just doing things. They weren't doing things from the heart. They was just doing things for money. I seen people selling things, and I'm like, man, that don't look like something that's your dream to do. But they was just doing it to get by. And I just seen all of that. I'm just like, man, I see this thing as money driven. When things are just money driven, a lot of other stuff gets in the way of it being, like successful. People are only gonna see that, people, and then boom, it happened. Everything started just crumbling. Like the allegations started coming out, and different views started in the beginning. Like there was a lot of people. I seen a lot of people not representing for the Queens, but from the jump, I was like, it's that time. I feel it. I feel it. I feel it. They're gonna fight this time. This time they're gonna fight. You might have hit them yesterday, and they might have fell down on that floor and ain't get up. But today, you hit them, they're going to get up. They're going to get up. And that right there, that's a step towards, that made me feel good. That made me feel like, wow, that fight back I'm gonna hold you down. I'm gonna hold you down no matter what. I'm gonna hold you down. I don't care how popular it is to be, the guy that's just supporting the what he believe in, but I'm gonna do what I gotta do, and I'm gonna hold the people down that's been victims, because I've been victims of not domestic violence, but I almost got killed myself. Somebody in the street, shooting at me and things like that. I've been through my own things, and I feel like I'm more, and I don't look at victim as a weakness. I look at victim as look at when you're a victim as an experience. You have a longer story to tell. A lot of people look at victims like, oh, they're weak, this and that. It's not about being weak. It's all about figuring things out. Life, why it happened, breaking it down. Could you have avoided this? Could you have put yourself in a different situation that could have maybe led to something a little better than this? Once you start figuring things out, everything has like a pattern to it. And once you find those little patterns in the things you do or the things people do to you, you start breaking it down in a way where you can control what's next to come. And people will think that you're like this psychic person, but it's just that no, you have control of what your intake is and how you're gonna present yourself, or how you're gonna see things for what it is, and react to it. That's what it's all about. The more you learn how to protect yourself and the things that you find dear to yourself, the more you find yourself saying, you know what, I ain't going to that club. I don't want to be a part of that. It looks like they're having fun, but that's not for me. When you start saying those type of words, that's when you realize, oh man, that's my value. That's the same thing that guy was telling me on YouTube, that, oh, I feel I got more value than that. I can do better than this. Even if you at a low point in your life, where a lot of people in our community are, it's not like a bad thing. It's because society, what's going on in the world. You're trying to bring your family up, but on the other side of the world there's a war going on. The energy is bad in society. People are getting robbed. Don't think it's easy. It's not easy. We all going through it. That's why I wanted to huddle up with y'all every morning, making sure y'all, when y'all get out there, y'all remember these words like, nah, don't look at it like that. You know what's going on. Get back to the ones you love. Do what you got to do and get back to where you got to go. You know what's going on. If you want to enjoy yourself and you want to anything that alters your mind, sipping wine, maybe taking a little smoke, anything that you do, you have to have a circle of trust around you, whether it's you by yourself or people around you that trust you, or a trustful environment at least. Because in these times, man, especially if you're a female, you can't even get too tipsy after a certain time of hour and trying to make it home without some weirdo I've seen on the news chasing you down or trying to do something to you. It's scary. And I'm talking about these the biggest parts of New York and our cities. I'm seeing this too. Like, this is not like, the inside borough. This is happening in like Soho and Manhattan, and this is happening all around. It doesn't matter where, if the place has poverty in it or if the place it's a high end rich people. It's happening all around. I told you, the energy is not gonna just stay in one community. The energy was spread out to all communities. The beautiful little girl in the suburbs might fall in love with the bad guy from the hood, and that's just how love works. It's when they meet up with each other, who is going to get more of a learning experience in that situation? And how is this relationship going to work with some kind of understanding to know that where you're from and where I'm from doesn't matter to where both of us are going? These are the little things you have to always keep in mind, and you'll be all right out there. You'll know how to pick your lover out. You'll know how to make better choices. Like, think about it. Like I was telling you with the Sean Kingston, $150,000 TV unit. Now, for maybe in hip hop that might sound like, oh, it's crazy, that's dope. But for us regular people, it sounds foolish. You know that. You know that sound foolish, right? That sound foolish. $150,000 for some TVs. I don't even watch as much TV as I used to. Maybe more YouTube now than I do TV. So, $150,000 and you can't pay it. It don't make no sense. Not only could that be, I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but a company that's selling I don't know. I wouldn't spend $150,000 on a TV. It's just me. But a company that's doing that type of entertainment and that type of service, I'm pretty sure that's set up for maybe if you're doing like if you're having like like a theater room and you're doing that type of service. Now, if that's the case, you have to meet the price that those type of things go for, and you have to be able to spend it 3 times before you can spend it once. That's just being smart. If you can buy something 3 times again, that means you have enough to buy it 1 time. If you can't buy it 3 times, it ain't worth it. At a certain amount of, because you can get a nice setup in there, and I'm pretty sure if they have the new sets where you can put the sets together and it all equals up to one whole, and I'm pretty sure it could be way less expensive than 150,000, because when you really think about it, when somebody walks into your house, they can't figure out, unless you keep a price tag on everything that you have in there, how much everything is. It's not about the money. It's all about the setting and how you feel in there. You could have set that place up way cheaper than $150,000. But now you're in a situation because that couldn't be paid, and these people want their money, and they're willing to go lengths to get it. Because if anybody with a company like that, he definitely has some people on the other side where he can call people and he can get the SWAT at your house, and it can turn into a federal case because he has a different type of power. People are in cahoots with different people. When you're a business owner, you meet other business owners, and people respect you for what you do, and people have hands in different things in business. And just because You might not see it. What you say on social media can offend the wrong person, and that can hold you back in so many different ways that you don't even see it coming. And why is it coming to you? You just thinking that, why are they doing this to me? It's because what you said over here didn't match with what they align or what they believe in. And people are very sensitive in these times. Like I told you, I feel there's more victims out here than there's more than leaders, bosses, and all that. There's a lot of victims to many different things. And for the youth coming up, I mean, they're putting their hands on the females. We just can't do that. We can't. I just can't see that. Not only is it a big mistake, but it also it as we are seeing now, it never leaves. It never leaves. It's something. It's a stain. Some things are just a stain. And we don't have places where it's only prison. We don't have other places where you can go get help. I'm not sure. I don't want to, but I'm not sure if and if it is, we need to. It should be brought to the forefront, like for like sex addicts and things like that, because there's always something stemming from this. There's always something stemming from this. You'd be surprised how many guys don't like strip clubs. You'd be surprised. Some people are more kept to themselves and want what they want. Don't want other guys looking into what they want, or everybody just after the same thing. You find yourself in a place where you look at things and you're like, I can see the crowd and why they got into that. They're lost in this certain situation. You know how many guys or how many rappers now are probably ducking because they put their hands on a female, and if they say one thing come out their mouth, that female is gonna come on social media and tell their truth. So I can understand why. Now I see. Now I get it. Now I get it. Because man, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. All I can say is do right by people, man. Do right by people. Oh, that's what I wanted to chat. Okay, like when your money starts coming in for your business and you're doing the right thing with what you're doing, like you start to realize all the things in your head that you thought that you wanted to buy, you don't want them. You know what you want? You want to know that you can buy it if you wanted to. Not that you're gonna buy it. It's that you can buy it if you wanted to. That will take you a long way. Because the more you stack, the more you save and put into your company and your well-being, the more you have a stronger structure, a foundation that your brand can sit on or stand on. That's what it's all about. A lot of people throw their brands away because they feel like they're not getting a certain amount of money that they're supposed to be bringing in or they picture to bring in. But look at a brand like having a kid. You're raising the kid, and the kid is going to make some mistakes, and you have to know how to like school the kid about the mistake, but at the same time the kid's still gonna grow and make more mistakes. So you have to everything you have to like pamper your brand. The mistakes you make in your brand could be giving it to the wrong people. Maybe just having maybe you made some mistakes business wise as far as like overproduction or you're sitting on some stuff that didn't sell. These are the type of things where you have to pamper it. Give it some time. More people will find you. That's how my brand always picked up, because the more people that find you, they want to know what's this guy about. So he says he's a fashion designer. Is he really a fashion designer? Why is his last name Fenty? Is that his real name? Is he? Oh, he is from Barbados. Is that the? Oh, he's okay. Okay, I get it. 13 years. I see the people. I see the youth that he took care of, the camps, the people that's wearing his clothes. Oh, I can. Let me check what he has going. It takes steps for people to trust you as a fashion designer, for especially as a new designer, for you to even get in their household. People don't understand that. Don't give up on your brand. Don't give up on your people. Don't give up. Sometimes you have to show people that you are a trustworthy person before you can actually get the sale. It's not always just about the sale. It's about how when they buy into you, do they feel like they got robbed? How do they feel when they wear it? Do they feel good and edgy when they go outside? Does it spark a conversation? Yes? Then you got something going for yourself. If you put something on somebody else that looks like somebody else's brand, and they go out there and somebody say, "Oh, their brand looks, oh, that looks bootleg." What do you like? What are you talking about? Oh, it looks like so and so. What? Let me see. Oh, it does. You made that. You made the person feel embarrassed. You don't want to do that. Make sure everything you do is original. Make sure that it's coming from here and not just your eyes and what you see out there. Yeah, I might not have the means to get the fastest manufacturing where I can get a whole bunch of stuff, but I do have the means to pay attention to detail for the people that support me. I can do that. I can get up on here, and if you made a purchase, I can speak to you one on one, and we can get your size. And there's a lot of things you can do as a smaller brand that builds a community around your brand. That's why, you're hearing a lot about inspiration and dreams. I've been had a trademark, so you know where my mindset was at. I was waiting for you guys to get here. So by the time you got here, you have something that's substantial for you to say, "Oh, nah, his brand is dope. I don't know about his brand is dope." And that's why I keep it like that. The reason why it's preppy streetwear is because I went to a prep school, as well as, when I got to college, the world, it opens for you. The way you see things and the way you present yourself means a whole lot about you. A lot of people don't think that. They're disguised in other people's looks. They're out there dressing like other people because they haven't found themselves yet. Two people can wear the same thing and one person can style it better. And it can just be a touch of something or an ad of something. Maybe a little splash of their personality added to it just outstepped you because you just chose to just throw it on. And I try to tell people that and fix the way they look at fashion. Because when you see, I know a lot of people that's into fashion that wear more of their clothes than just once. If you're really into fashion, you love a particular sweater, and that sweater has a story behind it, from the person that sold it to you to how whatever you have went out to had a good night with that sweater. You're gonna wear that time and time again because it brings back that feeling, that memory, that time, that picture. You can look to it, relate. There's a lot of things that go into it than just throwing it on and throwing it away. Fashion is deeper than that. And yeah, we see a lot of brands, and sometimes we see the same brands all the time, but it's not that it's not new brands out there. It's that those are the popular brands in the forefront. When you want to be edgy and you want to bring out something and you don't want people dressing like you and you want to step out and people are like, "Yo, what's that though?" That's when you start finding yourself looking for the other brands, and you'll go down a rabbit hole. You will be so surprised. I tell you, you probably find yourself in Japan. I'm not lying, because you'll realize how many of us are more original than the actual brands you see in the front, and you're like, "Wow, I really like that." And then some people never go back. That's why all of a sudden you see some people like, "Wow, they just switched their whole." Nope, they didn't switch. No, they found themselves. They didn't switch anything. They haven't found themselves before that point. And once you find yourself, it doesn't take an age for it. It's just who you are will show in what you wear. And that's what I try to capture. That's the difference between, I try to make every piece a collectible. That's the key to it all. And staying in your lane. Because if somebody asked me, preppy wear, why are you making preppy wear? I have a story behind that. If you don't have a story behind that, then you just look like, okay, so who's the person that you're looking to that made the preppy wear? Oh, his name is Mickey Fenty. He's right there on YouTube. You have to stay original to yourself, and then people will feel that from you, and they'll want to support you. That's all it's about. That's just for the entrepreneurs. Anything you want to do, if you don't have connection, you're not going to get it done. I don't get sales and sales and sales and they're just blinging off the roof like a Nike or anything. But that's the build-up. Don't expect to get that. If it happens, God is good. But build with the little that you have, and that will turn into the bigger things later on down the line in your journey. That's it. What's up, y'all? Drop a like, drop a like. Y'all know I need a like on this video. Like, just like it up, man, because it helps support the channel. It helps get this live going all around. And you know, I got a lot of things to bring to you guys. I think I'm gonna drop a new animation for you guys too. I was thinking about doing the whole Sean Kingston animation with the, you know, like the police just but I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do something. I want to do something more new, maybe something inspiring for you guys that you guys can share around, or maybe watch it whenever you get in a certain place, or you know. So I'm gonna do some new stuff. I'm gonna have some new things coming. So don't worry about it. I hope you guys are enjoying your this weather out here is just, it's so, you know, sometimes it changes. One day it's raining and it's muggy, and the next day it's just looking good. So we try to take the best out of both of those days and just keep that good energy. Yeah, man. Let me see. Let me see. What y'all? Yeah, I'll be telling them. I'll be telling them. See when. And now that I see with the kid, with how many kids with the guns and things like that, you know, I really can't, in certain environments, I can't blame the kids for dropping out of school. Because at the end of the day, the school dropped out of them. They didn't drop out. The environment. If you know after school you have a problem where there's a possibility that somebody could be out there to harm your life, and you add that up on every single day of school, I don't think it's going to be I don't think you're going to have good grades. I don't think it's going to be a comfortable environment for on every single day that I can say that something won't happen to you throughout the whole school semester. I can't say that. And I understand that every kid out there is not made to fight or defend themselves. I understand that as well. They're learning life at a different rate. So being put into an environment where it's hard to learn, even though learning is going on in this environment, not everybody's going home to the same thing. And that's where it gets tricky. Some kids look up to the teachers like parents. And you see that and feel that in the kid, I guess, when you're you know, in that classroom. The kids that look up to the teachers as parents probably don't have that parenting at home that they need. And the ones that look at the teachers as teachers, they have that sense of, you know, authority and who's who. Because if you're looking at a parent as, if you're looking at the teacher as a parent, and you have some kind of like confusion and authority, then anybody that you feel is higher than you, they're gonna have their way with you as life goes on. You have to know that different people in different authorities, you have to know what there is to respect about that, and how much leeway you have in between, and what your freedom is in between the situation. For example, as a teacher, as a kid, if a kid is in there and he's being, you know, the the funny guy, the whole class messing up everybody's grades, well, not only is there a problem at home, but he's also bringing that home problem to the class. Now, people that think that he's doing the right thing because they don't know his problems, the teacher does. So you're the only one in charge. That's your responsibility to attack that, as far as finding out what it is, seeing what's going on. And these times, I know it's not like back in the day, the teachers go to the house and try to speak with the parents, because nowadays you speaking to the parents and they just as crazy as the kid, or acting just like the kid. So you wanna go directly to the kid and break down how you look at life and how you feel where the kid can go, and start highlighting the rights about that kid, and show that kid where they can go. And so many people that felt this way, that how that kid feels and where they at now, and give that kid more of examples of people that been through the same similar situations. Because I mean, it feels like school and prison are very similar in discipline in certain ways, and it shouldn't be like that. I feel like in the future to come, I feel like school should have a different, as far as, you know, like the grades 1 all the way up. I feel like it should be differently paced. When by the time you get to 8th grade, from that point on, you should be directed into the things that you see yourself go in it and learn from that point on instead of waiting until college to break down. From that point on, I feel like those are where your learning points. If you can start there, you'll have a better shot at life, especially whatever life throws at you. You'll know how to handle it from that point on. But coming out of college, having student debt, student loan debt, and life just hitting life, trying to get into corporate or trying to be an entrepreneur, or that's the point of your life. It's like it's almost like that's one of the most hectic times of your life. I'm telling you. The quicker you get it, the more you can advance. The more you can advance. Like it up, like it up, like it up, like this video up right now. I know how it is. If you're watching on your TV, I'm thankful for you guys watching. But if you're on your phone, you could just press that like button real quick. You could snap real quick, like, like it up. Show me some love. Word. Before I get out of here, let me see that. What else? What else was up there that I wanted to? Let me see something. Can I kick it with y'all? What else was up there? What's going on, y'all? Let me see. Let me see. Shouts out to all the content creators out there putting out that good energy. I don't be hating. I seen this. I was watching this morning. I was watching something. With Babs Bunny. She was talking. She had an interview. It was really good. I love Babs. I love Babs. She's cool. I met her a few times. Cutie pie. Babs is cool, man. She was talking just about her experiences with the making of the band, and I remember that, man. That had everybody tuned in, and one thing I took out of that, she said the how she described the different members of the band and how her energy towards them and how their energy towards her, how she felt about them. And she said one thing that she said that out there, I was just like, wow. Which when it came to Fred, when they asked her about Fred, she said Fred is he's very loyal, and that was one of the members she was very close to. And I'm just just watching Fred, recent interviews, just speaking on the whole Diddy situation. I thought to myself, yeah, it's always the people with the big hearts that end up in these places where it's like people always do this type of stuff to the wrong person. Now, I could see way past on the interviews. I see the anger that Fred has in there, and I understand them. I totally understand them, and I always say to myself, don't lose it for that, man. Don't. You got a lot more living to go, and people know your heart. They understand what you mean. We understand. We hear what you said. We heard what you said, man. We heard what you said. How Diddy said, he'll buy out your block and stuff like that. These are all people that filled with power that when you're doing that to somebody, you said you're gonna buy out their neighborhood, and all you're saying is, oh, you the black community, I can buy you out and put your family in the street. Well, if life was that simple, where you feel like you can put somebody's family in the street and you can go on with your life living on this earth without anything happening to you because you feel you have power or security guards, you got a lot to learn. You got a lot to learn because I feel the more that justice is not served, the more justice will be taken in their own hands. And it's not going to be easy for people to travel around and with this mental health crisis and people not have an issue with these type of people because the aura they build around them and people see them, they feel it like, oh, and I don't like that person. They're the one that did this to that. You don't want to live like that. You don't want to live like that because anywhere you go, somebody can do something to you and wrong you, and people don't stand for you because of the things you did to other people. It's like people don't want to get mixed up in other people's karma. What sense does that make? People got their own issues, their families that they're trying to stand by. But every day you see somebody just leaning off into the foolishness. Stay away from it, man. Keep good energy. I love you guys. Before I get out of here, make sure you guys, if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. I might have a little surprise for the weekend for you guys. So subscribe to the channel. I'm always putting out good energy. You guys make sure you take your days on one step at a time. Keep the energy up. And don't let nobody on the outside talk about you. And even if they do talk about you, don't let it bother you. Because you know who you are. You know who you are.
Peace.